Welcome back. All right, switching our focus to soybeans. Garrett, soybeans, we talked about it last weekend. Soybeans are searching for a demand story, but as it sits today, what is it going to take to turn these prices around?
It needs a trade deal with China, or at least China showing up for new crop export commitments. At this point, the long tail of the Brazilian crop continues to overhang, and that's obviously in some issues on the corn export side down there as well. But if corn production ideas are increasing, soybean production ideas are increasing as well, even with the tighter balance sheet. And the problem is corn has demand, and soybeans have a lot more uncertainty here. So while I think the downsides are relatively limited because we have so much support here from crush margins and the biofuel side of things, I think there's some obviously concerns in beans.
Rick, do you think there's a stronger argument for bean prices to go up or bean prices to go down?
I think they're stuck right now. You've got the demand issue that Garrett highlighted that doesn't seem to want to abate anytime soon. But at the same time, you've got crush margins that are $2 a bushel out through the end of next year. So the processors are going to still hang in there and buy the bean crop as much as they can. The biggest difference this year versus what typically happens with soybeans is if you don't have a massive export pool, it's very hard to get prices to rally.
All right, Garrett, let's switch real quick to cattle, okay? Because big news on the trade front this week also went with Australia, us finding out that Australia is actually going to lift restrictions on U.S. beef, opening that market for U.S. beef. Secretary Rollins speaking very highly of that, saying that that was something that critics thought would never happen. But Garrett, at this point, I know we have cattle on feed that was out on Friday. Or cattle supplies, I'm sorry, that was out on Friday. Do we even have the cattle to send to Australia at this point?
No, absolutely not. I think the bigger issues, obviously, as far as the policy standpoint, is the Mexican border closure and any sort of resolution on that. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to keep our powder dry here with what we've got. These numbers don't suggest that we're seeing much herd expansion, production-wise locally. There's just a lot of issues that are popping up that are making it a little bit more difficult to expand. The wet year and flies, and our conception rates are down. Just a lot of problems that are, us cow-calf guys that thought that we would be making hay, it's never easy.
Garrett, Rick, thank you so much for joining us. A lot of insights this weekend. We appreciate it. Stay with us because right after the break, we're checking in with Machinery Pete for Tractor Tales.